What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is the Real Housewives of Potomac, season 4, episode 4. So it's a little late. It's been a busy weekend. I'm just getting around to watching the episode from last night. Um, so we start the episode off where we left off at Uncle Lump's party. Everybody drunk. Okay, the party was over. Cause I was thinking the same. I was thinking that last week. I was like, when you rent a venue, there is a opening and a closing. You know what I mean? And it wasn't at Oz. This was at a different venue. But honey, they shut that place down. And then they had an after party after the party, and they was drunk getting it in. And so the next morning, you know how something happens, but you don't want to be the first person to mention it. You like, well, if she don't bring it up, I ain't gonna bring it up. And the other person be like, well, if they don't bring it up, I ain't gonna bring it up. That's kind of what they doing about this little comment that Michael made the night before about, you know, want to do something with somebody's penis. Okay. So Robin and Candace are both acting like they ain't hear it. And they're like, well, if she don't bring it up, I ain't gonna bring it up. And if she don't bring it up, I ain't gonna bring it up. Now back over, oh, excuse me, y'all. Back over to Ashley in Michael's apartment. Michael seems to be concerned about how much Ashley is drinking. Because again, she's doing all this holistic stuff to try to get pregnant, yet throwing them back. And it is clear that they were drunk off their ass at that party. And I ain't mad that you have a good time, but again, you know, if that's what you're trying to do, that's what you're trying to do. You got to be real careful about if that's what you're trying to do. But anyway, um, and Ashley, I think, heard what he said, but she ain't saying nothing about it on camera either. Although, let's be clear, it ain't the first time Ashley done heard him say something like that. Okay. Um, Giselle is journaling. She is done with Sherman. Her therapist told her she needs to start journaling again. So she's journaling her wish list for the type of man she wants in her life and so forth. And she sits down and she talks to the girls and she talks to them about her family. They're taking a trip to New Orleans. So this is how they're opening up the trip to New Orleans. She's going back to kind of get reconnected with her roots, that she knows that her mom and dad are from New Orleans, but she's not born and raised in New Orleans. She would go in the summers to visit, but she wants to kind of get reconnected. Her dad is turning 60, so it sounds like they're having a party for her dad. And of course, she invited the girls to come down with her, right? Y'all know how they got to do all that. So this is the party, right? This is the trip, the first trip. Oh, sorry, y'all. They usually do some sort of local trip, like in the United States type trip, and then they do an international trip later on in the season. So this is their little local trip that they're doing down to New Orleans, and of course, all the ladies are going. Um, the other thing she talked to the girls about was her not being with Sherman anymore, and the girl said something that I understand why it concerned Giselle, because it would concern me too. Basically, what the girls were saying was, we liked Sherman. He was a nice guy, and you were happy. When you weren't with Sherman, you tended to maybe get a little short with us or have an attitude with us. But while you were with Sherman, you were happy. You didn't, you had more patience with us. And you know, Giselle was like, well, that concerns me a little bit because I don't ever want y'all to feel like, I don't ever want my daughters to feel like happiness is connected to a man. And I can 100% understand where she's coming from with that because, you don't want to feel like, and you definitely don't want to set that example for your daughters for them to feel like, oh, when mommy's with the man, she's happy. When mommy's not with the man, she's sad. Because that's the message that it sounded like they got. And so I could definitely understand why Giselle was feeling some kind of way about her daughter's response to Sherman not being around. So I felt her on that. And I understand her feeling like, no, I gotta show them some other things. Later on in the episode, she's Hugh Beauty is at the Ubiquitous Expo, and she made sure she took her girls, honey, so that they would see all of it. Okay, see all of that. So Karen and Daggone Candace seem to have a really good relationship, and I hope it doesn't get ruined or messed up because Candace says that she really feels like her relationship with Karen is sort of the relationship she wished she had with her mom. Now, I don't know how Karen feel about you keep referring to her like in that age group. You know how Karen is, but let's be real. Karen is old enough to be her mama. Um, and they have a really good relationship. Karen was going to the dentist and she took Candace with her because she was getting laughing gas. So somebody to drive her home, because you got to have somebody to drive you home. And Karen, of course, like a lot of people are scared of the dentist. So, but they had a good time. Karen was a mess, honey. Karen was a mess with the daggone drugs, but I understand. Because I have, as y'all see, I need some dental work, and I have some dental work planned this year, which I'm about to go off on a tangent anyway. It was supposed to happen already, but it's been delayed for different reasons. And honey, I am not looking forward to the dental work that I have to have done. Okay, I am not looking forward to it at all. But it was a cute scene with them going to the dentist, and just seeing how they just have a really easy flow conversation. When they talk about some great things. Candace told Karen about the party, but she didn't, at least on camera, she didn't get into the micro comments, but she did tell them about the party and how they had a really good time. But talked about Ashley and her drinking. So they're packing for the party. I mean, for the trip, and like I said, Michael just seemed like he is really concerned about what Ashley is going to be drinking, how much she's going to be drinking. We saw where Robin was packing, and Juan was telling her the same thing, like, don't get drunk like that again, because that is not a good look. And she said, I got in trouble because I came home, I was drunk. But then she made him feel better, so he got over it. Okay. So Candace and her mama. Look, y'all. I've been giving Candace's mama a hard time since last year. I have. But in this one, on this one right here, I'm kind of with Candace's mama. Look, here's what you can't do. You can't have it both ways. If you're gonna be living in my house paying 1/3, well, she said that they split the rent. Now here's what I'm confused about. She said they split the rent 3 ways. Her mother pays 1/3, Candace pays 1/3, and Chris pays 1/3. But then her mother made a comment when they were talking about you've had every opportunity to pay the rent if you want to. So I don't know what Candace is really paying. But here's the thing, and I said this with the wedding, I said this, I'm going to say this now. As long as you are living under your mother's roof, you have given your mother the power to control you. You don't have to like it. I'm not saying that it's right of her mother to take advantage and to use that as a weapon. But yeah, if you know that your mother's the type of person that every time y'all get into an argument, the first thing out her mouth is, well, I'm going to sell the house, then get out the fucking house. She said you've been living there for 6 years. And I don't know how long you and Chris have been dating, but she said we're saving up for our forever home. How about your first house don't need to be your forever house? Your first house could be get the hell out my mama house. And it don't have to be a house. It could be a nice apartment. I know I said this before, and somebody got at me in the comments when I said something about Chris, the lifestyle she's become accustomed to. But my thing is, y'all can get a nice 1-bedroom apartment somewhere if y'all really trying to save y'all money. I know the prices around here are sky high, and of course, if you want to live in certain neighborhoods or have certain addresses, they're even higher. I get it. I live in this area. I know what the real estate is around here. It's crazy. However, you talking about I want you to respect me and you should give me this respect. Her mama was like, well, most mothers don't take care of their daughters. And again, I'm with your mama. I'm with your mama. You want your mother to give you a certain level of respect, but then you want her cutting a check at the end of every month. Or you want her paying the bills for you while you do whatever the fuck it is that you do. Run your hair company, which is owned by your mama. Like, you want a certain level of respect that has to be earned through independence. You're not an independent person, so you don't get that. And I'm sorry if I'm wrong or y'all disagree, whatever. Now, should her mother be respectful of the fact that she's married now and she just can't come and go as she pleases in that house? Sure. But the reality is, if her mama is still paying 1/3 of the mortgage, then she can come and go as she pleases. Let's take mama out of this and just look at it as 3 roommates. 3 roommates have rented this house. I pay 1/3 of the mortgage. Roommate B pays 1/3 of the mortgage. Roommate C pays 1/3 of the mortgage. Don't roommate C have the same rights as roommate A if they all paying the same amount of money? Forget about who owns it. If we're paying the same amount of money every month and I got a key, I can come in this door whenever the fuck I feel like it. And if roommate A and C are having sex in the middle of the living room, they must have wanted me to see it. So I'm sorry. Now, and I'm with your mama. Stop all this damn crying. Stop all this damn crying. Every time, and now I understand what her mama was talking about when she talking about them crocodile tears, because Every time she get into a conversation with her mother and she not getting her way, them damn tears start. I understand where her mama is coming from. Stop all that damn crying. And you and Chris, sit down. Y'all work out your budget and y'all find somewhere to fucking go. Y'all should have moved out before the wedding. I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, your mama not wrong. Now, I ain't saying that your mother handles it correctly, but I understand where your mother's coming from. Your mother's like, you want certain things, but you don't want to take the full responsibility. You want the fun side of this. I want to live in this house and I want my mother to come and go when I tell her she can come and go, but I don't want the full responsibility because guess what? If you had your own place with your own address with your name on the lease, your mama wouldn't even have a key and she would have to knock and she would have to call first. That's what you get with independence. You get that. Anyway, so that's just my 2 cents. Whatever. Um, so we're at Ubiquitous. Karen comes through to support Giselle, and Giselle introduces her to the woman who runs Ubiquitous, who was very instrumental. Germaine, I think it's her name, was very instrumental in getting Every Hue Beauty into Target, and so she's kind of helping Karen make the connection. And Karen was like, it's so nice to meet you. And so the woman starts asking Karen some questions about the perfume because um La Dame because um Giselle made a comment about, her having her line coming out. And so Jermaine starts asking her some questions and stuff. And what's funny is Karen starts giving this woman all of these questions, these answers to these questions. And Giselle feeling some kind of way because Giselle is like, well, last week I asked her these exact same questions and she ain't telling me shit. I mean, are we really trying to build up our friendship? I mean, what kind of friendship can we really be if she's still lying to me and she's still not telling me the truth? We right back where we started, Karen. Giselle, you can't make somebody tell you their business, and that doesn't mean y'all are not friends. First of all, there's a business side to this. You can't tell everybody everything until certain things are in place. There are contracts that need to be signed. There are things that need to be finalized. Maybe there's information she couldn't give you. Two, who the fuck are you? She's telling a woman that could possibly help her get her brand in a major chain. I don't know if she want to sell it in Target, but definitely has connections to help her expand her brand. You've done your part. As a friend, you introduced me to somebody who can help me. That was your job as a friend. Don't get mad because I'm giving this woman more information than I gave you. This woman can do more for me than you can do. I'm giving this woman more information because she can do something with it. You just want to gossip. Because I think that, and there's probably a part of Karen that was still thinking that there was a little shade in there, like, oh, you still don't think this is about to happen. So I can show you better than I can tell you. That's how I sort of took, because I feel the same way. You start asking me questions about about Ladam, because you still don't think it's gonna really happen. So I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. But now you done introduced me to somebody who can get my product in a place to make some money. Oh, I'm gonna tell that woman everything she want to know. What you want to know, boo? You want to see a picture of the promo? You want to talk to my lawyers? Can we set up a meeting for next week? Absolutely, she's gonna get more information. Absolutely. Are you crazy? I don't understand. Karen, I don't understand what you don't understand. And then later on in the episode, it's gonna become a whole nother set of issues. But anyway, so we are going to New Orleans. Okay, we all meet up at Giselle's house and catch the sprinter on over to the airport. Everybody except for Robin. Robin barely made the damn plane. The door was gonna close. They had 1 minute before that door was gonna close, and here come Robin come barreling through. Robin gonna be late. My best friend is like that. Robin gonna be late for her own damn funeral. Okay. She was still packing, and they at the airport. Okay. Now I will say this: where Robin lives, if they were flying out of BWI, Robin don't live about 10 minutes from there. So it didn't make sense. It honestly, depending on where they flew out of, it didn't make sense for Robin to take a car all the way to Giselle's house to go all the way back to BWI. However, if they were going to Dulles or National, that's a different conversation. But neither here nor there. They all got on the plane. Now let me say this. I absolutely hate Karen's hair. And like Monique said, my braids are attached to my scalp. Karen braided her wig. And it looks like you don't see no scalp. You don't see no scalp. It's just hair. You don't see no scalp. So I don't know. And it doesn't, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Anyway, Miss Katie is on the trip looking bohemian chic, honey. And like I said, they Giselle starts giving them rules on the way. She done lost her voice, and she giving them rules, telling them they're not gonna be there's not gonna be any whining or complaining on this trip, and gonna call Karen out. Karen was like, Giselle, we can pull this damn call, but right now we ain't gonna start like this. You ain't gonna start by calling me out. Like we ain't gonna do that. They get to New Orleans, and they stand at a really nice hotel, and of course, Giselle has the presidential suite, and she says that Katie can stay in her suite with her. And she said, "Look, because I gotta keep an eye on Miss Katie, because Katie is a wild child, and I gotta make sure that we know where Katie is at all times. So yeah, Katie gonna stay in the room with me, honey. This ain't about friendship. This about me with Miss Katie." So they check in their room. Everybody calls their husband, their significant other, whatever. That damn Juan. Oh, Robin. She talking to Juan, and she gonna tell Juan, "I love you." Juan was like, "All right, then we'll have a good time." She was like, "Juan, I said I love you." Huh? Oh, you need what? Juan Dixon. He was like, "What? I said I love you." Oh, I love you too, Robin. I love you too. You gotta ask him 3 times to tell you he love you. Come on now. Come on now. But it's a nice suite. They got a really nice suite that they're staying in. Everything looks good. So their first little excursion, they're going to a cooking class. Giselle set up a cooking, and it looked like fun. They taught them how to make crepes, and then they taught them how to do something with alligator meat. They did something with the alligator meat, and then they sat down to eat it afterwards. And everybody thought it came out good. You know, people were a little apprehensive about eating alligator meat, but everybody said it tasted pretty good. You know, it was really good. Um, Nothing, yeah, I'm gonna make sure I didn't miss nothing. Monique and Candace had a conversation. They were just kind of talking about Katie because the two of them don't really know Katie, but it wasn't nothing real deep. Um, it wasn't nothing real deep. I didn't think. Um, Monique made a joke that um, what's the face wasn't necessarily happy with, but I don't think it was that big of a deal. Anyway, so I think it was that big of a deal. So anyway, we're at dinner afterwards, and Karen decides that she wants to call. Excuse me, Giselle decides that she wants to call Karen out about you told this perfect stranger information that I've been asking you for a year and you wouldn't tell me. And are we really friends? Are we really trying to make this a friendship? And Karen was like, what do you? She was like, because she was like, I'm so thankful that you introduced me to her. I really appreciate it. That really meant a lot. And Karen starts going off about, Giselle starts going off about, well, you didn't tell me this and you didn't tell me that. And you should have told me this and you should have told me that. And Karen was like, what are you talking about? Like, she said, yeah, I didn't tell you these things because, you know, and basically everything I done already said. Like, you can't do nothing for me. I still don't really 100% trust you. You still, sometimes you try to be shady. But she really was being sincere in the beginning. Like, I really appreciate what you've done for me, and I really appreciate that you introduced me to this woman. Like, what is wrong with you? And I didn't understand either. And then, of course, Robin, her co-signer, talking about some. Well, Karen just doesn't understand what Giselle's trying to say. Hell, I don't understand why Giselle mad. I don't. I don't understand what Giselle is mad about because again, I wouldn't tell you all of my business either for a plethora of reasons. First of all, being because you always got some slick shit to say. So my thing is that I would do the same thing. I can show you better than I can tell you. Now you introduce me to somebody that can help me out. All right, I'm gonna talk to her. I still don't have nothing to say to you. And it's not an indication of our friendship. And Giselle said, damn it. Karen said all that to Giselle. And Giselle just kept picking. And finally Karen said, you know what, I'm not gonna do this. And she got up from the table and she left. And Candace actually went after Karen. They didn't. That's where they cut it off. So we don't see what happened, what Karen said or anything like that. But I'm, and y'all. I hate when y'all make me agree with Karen on some stuff. But on this one, I'm with Karen. I don't understand the issue. I definitely don't think it's that big of an issue. Like, you made it out to be this horrible betrayal, and I just don't think it is. I don't think it's that deep. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments, please.